Dear students, due to Amphan, there was disruption in net connection and my network was also disrupted. That's why I could not make contact with you and could not take classes after 20th May. I do not know whether your net connection has been restored till now, but I take the opportunity to send this video to your end so that we can proceed a step further. Now, in my earlier classes in the first semester, I have already discussed the limitations of Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Since we will be going to the elaborate discussion of quantum statistics, there is the Bose-Einstein statistics and Maxwell and Fermi-Dirac statistics. So, before going to the statistics, I would like to recapitulate the limitations of Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Now, the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics suffers from a number of limitations. Now, what are the limitations? Some of the limitations are as follows. Now, the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics hold only for an isolated dilute gas molecular systems in equilibrium, with the mean potential energy due to mutual attraction between the molecules is negligible compared to their mean kinetic energy. So, this is applicable for an isolated dilute gas molecular system in equilibrium, where the mean potential energy due to mutual attraction between the gas molecules is negligible compared to their mean kinetic energy. Now, for dilute gases, the number of molecules per unit volume is small, so that the average separation between the molecules is large. Hence, individual molecules could then be distinguished. So, in this case only, the individual molecule can be distinguished. Okay? Number 2, the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics does not give correctly the entropy of an ideal gas. Okay? Now, this led to Gibbs paradox. I have already discussed the Gibbs paradox and why the Gibbs paradox is there and how it was resolved. Now, this Gibbs paradox is resolved if the expression involved is divided by factorial n. So, we have to divide so if we take one of the expressions as the partition function of the system, then this will be q to the power n by factorial n, where capital N is the number of molecules in the system, q is the molecular partition function, and n, factorial n, this is the permutation of the molecules among themselves. So, when the molecules are considered indistinguishable. Okay? So, why we have divided this by factorial n, we have already discussed in our earlier class. Now, as the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics does not give correctly the entropy of an ideal gas, so the behavior of the entropy at absolute zero of temperature is at variance with the third law of thermodynamics. Now, according to third law of thermodynamics, S tends to 0 and T tends to 0. It has also been discussed in our earlier classes. Third law of thermodynamics has also been discussed in our earlier classes. Number 4, when Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is applied to the electron gas in metals, a number of discrepancies arise between the theory and observation. So, there are a number of discrepancies between the theory and observation when the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is applied to the electron gas in metals. Now, what are the discrepancies between theory and observation? Number 1, experimental results show that the high temperature value of the molar specific heat of a metal is 3R, where R is the universal gas constant, which from device theory is the lattice contribution only. This is the lattice contribution alone. So this is the lattice contribution alone. So this 3R is the lattice contribution alone. Now the electronic contribution to the specific heat of a metal thus turns out to be very small. So the electronic contribution is negligible here. So this has not been taken into consideration. Okay. However, Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics predicts that the contribution of the free electrons in metals to the heat capacity would be 3R by 2. Now, according to Maxwell statistics, the contribution of free electrons in metals to the heat capacity is 3R by 2, which is a value much greater than expected. So, this is another discrepancy. So, secondly, we will discuss the velocity distribution of photoelectrons and the thermionic emission current density predicted by Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics do not agree with the experimental results. Okay, so these Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics do not agree with the experimental results in case of for the velocity distribution of photoelectrons and thermoionic emission current density. So the predicted value by Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics do not agree with the experimental one. Now when the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is applied to a photon gas, a batch of electromagnetic radiant energy, it predicts a continuously increasing number of photons, that is per unit range of frequency, as the frequency increases. So, as per the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, it predicts a continuously increasing number of photons per unit range of frequency as the frequency increases. So, as the frequency increases, so there should be the continuous increase in number of photons when Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is applied to photon gas. The actual distribution, however, is given by the well-known Planck's radiation law, which shows a maximum and falling. This is a maximum and falling asymptotically on either side. So this is frequency, this is the energy per density, energy per unit frequency range. So there is a maxima falling asymptotically on both sides. So falling asymptotically on both sides. According to Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, this should have been increases like this. Continuously, should increase continuously. Okay. So this is another drawback of the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Now the above shortcomings of classical Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics have been resolved by the quantum statistics. Now this quantum statistics includes Bose-Einstein statistics and Fermi-Dirac statistics. Okay? So Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is the classical statistics, whereas Bose-Einstein statistics and Fermi-Dirac statistics are the quantum statistics. Now let us see this one. So if we study the statistical mechanics, so this is the classical statistics, which is the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Here particles which obey the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics are known as boson. Okay? The particles, here the quantum statistics, there are two. The This is the Bose-Einstein statistics, this is Fermi statistics. So the quantum statistics includes two, Bose-Einstein statistics and Fermi statistics. Now the particles obeying the Bose-Einstein statistics are known as boson. Okay? Boson, B-O-S-O-N. This is B-O-L-T-Z-O-N, boson. This is boson, this is boson. Now the particles which follow, which obeys the Fermi statistics are known as fermions. Okay? Now, what are the most probable distributions in these statistics? There is the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, Bose-Einstein statistics, and Fermi statistics. Now, this is the most probable distribution, NiGi, where Ni is the number of particles in the quantum state Gi. So, the e to the power alpha plus beta epsilon I. We know what is alpha, what is beta. We actually know what is alpha, what is beta. So, this is the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, most probable distribution. Now, Ni by Gi is 1 upon e to the power alpha plus beta epsilon I minus 1. This is for the Bose-Einstein statistics. And Ni by Gi equals to 1 upon e to the power alpha plus beta epsilon I plus 1. This is equals to Fermi statistics. We have already derived these equations in our earlier classes. So, we will not go through the details of the deduction of this probable distribution function. Okay. Now, the three results can be summarized as Ni by Gi equals to 1 upon e to the power alpha plus beta epsilon I plus gamma. Okay. Now, gamma equals to 0 for MB statistics, Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Here, gamma equals to 0. Now, gamma equals to minus 1 for Bose-Einstein statistics. Okay. And gamma equals to plus 1 for Fermi-Dirac statistics. Okay. Now, if Gi by Ni is very, very greater than 1, then in the denominator of B statistics and FD statistics, so in the denominator of the B statistics and FD statistics, distributions takes the form, the denominator of both the statistics, the B statistics and FD statistics, one can be neglected. This one can be neglected. One can be neglected. Hence, both the B statistics and FD statistics distribution function takes the form of MB statistics. Okay. So, this takes the form of MB statistics. Okay. Because gamma equals to 0. So, this equals to this much. Gamma equals to minus 1. This equals to this much. Gamma equals to plus 1. This equals to this much. Now, if Gi by Ni is very, very greater than 1, so this 1 may be neglected. This 1 also may be neglected. This 1 also may be neglected. So, this becomes equivalent to Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Okay. Now, we will write down the postulates which we have already discussed, but in a tabular form. I will place the postulates of MB, B and FD statistics and comparison of distribution function. Okay. Number 1. The particles of the system in equilibrium are distinguishable. So, here the particles in Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics are distinguishable. And only particles are taken into consideration. So, we will consider only the particles. Whereas in B statistics, the particles of the system in equilibrium are indistinguishable. Here the particles are indistinguishable. Quantum states are taken into consideration. So, the quantum states are taken into consideration. Here also the same case, the particles are indistinguishable and the quantum states are taken into consideration. Now, there is no restriction on the number of particles in a given system. That is, no a priority restriction. So, there is no restriction in the number of particles in any given state. Okay. Here also, for Bose-Einstein statistics, there is no restriction of particles. No restrictions on the number of particles in a given quantum states. Okay. But in case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, only one particle may be in a given quantum state. So, it follows the Pauli's exclusion principle. Only one particle may be in a given quantum state. Okay. So, there is no a priori restriction, there is no a priori restriction in case of Bose-Einstein statistics. But in case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, the restriction is there that only one particle may be in a given quantum state. Now second, and then we will discuss the conservation of number of particles. For all the statistics, we can say that this for Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics first, the system is isolated, so the total number of particles is constant. That is sigma ni equals to n. Since n equals to constant, so delta n equals to 0. Sigma delta n equals to 0. Similarly, for the Bose-Einstein statistics, if the system is isolated, total number of particles is constant. Again, so sigma delta n equals to 0. So this is the conservation of number of particles. In case of Fermi-Dirac statistics as well, we get sigma ni equals to n and sigma del ni equals to 0. So the conservation of number of particles exists, condition for the conservation of number of particles exists in both the three statistics. Then we will consider the conservation of energy. The particles are non-interacting, so that the total energy of the system is a constant. So sigma delta E equals to sigma I del Ni equals to 0. Here also the same case, sigma, the particles are non-interacting, total energy is constant, therefore sigma delta E equals to sigma epsilon I del Ni equals to 0. Here also the particles being non-interacting, the total energy is constant, so sigma delta E equals to sigma delta epsilon I del Ni equals to 0. Next, now this is applicable to common gases at normal temperature. So Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics is applicable to common gases at normal temperature. But the Bose-Einstein statistics applies to photon gas, phonon gas, particles with integral or zero spin. So the bosons, the particles which follow the Bose-Einstein statistics, they are applicable to photons. The photon is a boson, phonon is a boson, and the particles with integral or zero spin, they obey the Bose-Einstein statistics. Some examples are, that is photons, phonons, spin equals to 1, deuteron, spin equals to 1, pi meson, spin equals to 0, alpha particle, that is helium-4, spin equals to 0. So applicable to nuclei with even mass number. These are applicable to nuclei with even mass number. You just see the hydrogen atom, P plus E, this is even mass number. Helium atom, 4 by 4 helium, 4 by 2 helium. This equals to boson. So this is 2p plus 2n plus 2 equals to even. But in case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, which are the fermions, they have the application to electron gas in metals. They are applicable to electron gas in metals. Particles having half integral spin. The particles might have a half integral spin. So the spin must be equals to half integral spin. Okay. Now, examples: electron, positron, neutrons or protons, mu meson, or which we call muon. Mu meson, which is known as muon. In all cases, spin equals to half. So this is a half integral spin. Now these are applicable to nuclei with odd mass number. Here, this is applicable to nuclei, bosons are applicable, Bose-Einstein statistics are applicable to nuclei with even mass number. You just see helium-4. Here helium-3 is fermion because helium-3 has odd mass number 2p plus n plus 2e. Deuterium atom, p plus n plus e, so it is odd mass number. So these are the fermions. Half integral spin, they have nuclei with odd mass number, the spin equals to 0 or integral spin, and applicable to nuclei with even mass number. Now we will consider the wave function. We will consider the wave function. Now how the wave functions are. Now, in case of Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, neither the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle nor the Pauli's exclusion principle is applicable. Okay? In case of Bose-Einstein statistics, while the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle applies, they do not obey the Pauli's exclusion principle. So bosons, in case of bosons, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is applicable, but Pauli's exclusion principle is not applicable. Now, in case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, Fermions obey both the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and also the exclusion principle of Pauli. Okay. Now, since it is not a quantum statistics, so this does not involve any wave function. But in case of Bose-Einstein statistics, wave functions are symmetric. Okay? Let wave function psi. This goes to R2, R1, R3, dot, dot, dot. When you change the coordinate, so if R1 goes to in place of R2 and R2 goes to in place of R1, so we are changing the coordinates, the sign of wave function remains same. The sign of wave function remains same, remains unchanged on interchanging the coordinates of any pair of identical particles. So if we take this pair, this is coordinate R1, this is R2. If we change the coordinates, so R1 here goes to R1 and R2 goes here. So there is change, interchanging of the coordinates of the pair of particles. The sign of the wave function remains same. So this is the wave function are symmetric. But in case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, the wave function are antisymmetric. You just see psi R2, R1, R3, when the coordinates are changed, R1, R2, R3, here R2, R1, R3, it is R1, R2, R3, the sign of the wave function is changed. So this is antisymmetric wave function. So in case of fermions, the wave functions are antisymmetric, but in case of boson, the wave functions are symmetric. Okay, in my next class, I will elaborately discuss the different properties of the different facets of Fermi-Dirac statistics and Bose-Einstein statistics. Thank you.